to Indonesia's largest island, Sumatra. The maps mark a railway from the coal mines in the central plateau down to the west coast port of Padang. Travellers on the coast had reported seeing some steam trains disappearing into the jungle, but as no passenger service had been offered for some years, the situation inland was uncertain. Finding the local roads quite passable, we followed one of these trains and, entering the equatorial rainforest at KAYU Tanam, found one of the best-kept secrets of the Indonesian railways. An entirely steam-operated rack and pinion line running through dense jungle in a highly scenic but little-known part of the country. Some trains did in fact carry a passenger coach, but as the service was so slow, it was not advertised. Gradients of 1 in 12 held down the train speed to about 4 miles per hour, and locomotives on the rack section pushed rather than pulled the trains as a precaution in case a broken coupling led to a runaway. The line was built to serve the coal mines, but there was little evidence of coal traffic on our visit, and the freight trains we did see were very short. As though we had only just arrived in time to see the line still running. At the top of the incline was the depot at Padang Panjang. The oldest locomotive here was this Class E10 rack tank supplied by Esslingen in Germany in 1920. It was still steamed every day for local shunting, although the staff seemed to have found other uses for it. It still carried its original Dutch colonial number plate alongside its modern one. Only one of these early engines remained. The rest were actually quite new, 17 of them dating from the 1960s. They had a diesel ejector in place of a conventional chimney and smarter-looking front ends, but mechanically they were copies of the old ones. The original builders, Esslingen, reluctantly took on this late order, but discontinued steam loco construction in 1966 after only 10 had been built, subcontracting the remainder to Nippon in Japan in 1967. This was Nippon's last steam order too, so the Sumatran E10s had the distinction of closing out the steam era in 2 factories on opposite sides of the world. The twice-weekly goods train on the branch to Bukittinggi was here being powered by number 1067, Nippon's last and the State Railway's newest steam locomotive. The rack locomotives operated on the compound system, whereby the steam is used twice. The driving wheels are driven in the normal way by high-pressure steam in the outside cylinders, whose low-pressure exhaust steam powers the internal pinion drive for the rack. Having duly exercised its rack motion, number 1055 left Padang Panjang for a descent of the rack with a mixed coal and passenger train for the coast. Just after leaving the station, the engine crawled slowly onto the rack section as the pinion was engaged. Just as the rack was essential to prevent slipping on the climb up the line, so it was just as vital to provide extra braking power to control the descent. When new customers were found for Sumatra's coal in the late 70s, the line was given a new lease of life. Rack diesels arrived in 1980, and the steam locos were set aside.